What's going on, guys? It's Landon, and this is David, and we're Taffy Hoops. Today is an exciting video because the NBA 2021-2022 season is starting really soon. Yeah, pretty soon. And so we're going to start out kind of putting out videos about our predictions for the season. And today's video is the NBA awards.
So we're going to be talking about our predictions for awards that are MVP, Rookie of the Year, Most Improved Player, Defensive Player of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, and Coach of the Year. So we'll just start out with like what our predictions are and why we have those predictions. A lot of these are just going to be pure guesses because, like, such as like Most Improved Player and Sixth Man of the Year, we don't really have many indications for who's going to do well for each one of those. But there are other awards where we have a lot of ideas of like who it could be, such as like Rookie of the Year and MVP. So, Landon, do you want to start with your Coach of the Year pick?
Yes. My Coach of the Year is ex-Pacers head coach Nathaniel McMillan. So he is the head coach of the Hawks. And from anyone who's watching Hawks last season, they know that as soon as they made the switch to having Nate McMillan being their head coach for the season, Hawks just like flipped the switch and they became that. Were they the 5 seed or 4 seed? I don't know what they were last year, but they were the 5 seed. And they got to Eastern Conference Finals, which, I mean, say what you want. It could be because of... Actually, no, that wasn't because of injuries. They beat every team fair and square. Except, I mean, yeah. They beat every team in the playoffs fair and square. And I think this year they're going to get that 5 seed, 6 seed. And I think that's going to be a big part because of Nate McMillan.
So I have Eric Spoelstra as Coach of the Year. Miami Heat were on a down year last year. They had a bunch of injuries, but I feel like when they come back to like that 3 or 4 seed next year, Eric Spoelstra will be one of those main reasons why they kind of pick it back up, being one of those like top 4 seeds. They'll have a really great regular season. They'll look really good. And Eric Spoelstra will bring that team together a lot. Some other guys that have like really good chances of being being Coach of the Year are Steve Nash of the Brooklyn Nets and Billy Donovan of the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, the thing with Steve Nash is, of course, he's going to have high odds because the Nets are going to be like 1 seed, 2 seed. But, like, it's not because of his coaching. It's kind of like a Steve Nash situation.
Right.
Not Steve Nash, sorry. Steve Kerr situation. Whereas, like, you know. And then Billy Donovan, the Bulls, I don't think the Bulls are doing good this.
Yeah, a lot of people are expecting them to be a really good team next year, and it doesn't look like they will be. At least in our opinions. They had a really good offseason, but it doesn't seem like they'll be really good right off the bat. So I feel like it's going to be a bit premature saying Billy Donovan's going to be Coach of the Year next year.
Yeah, and if you want to see where we put the Bulls, be on the lookout for our next videos. Okay, so next award is Sixth Man of the Year.
Yes.
David, who's your Sixth Man of the Year?
I have Derrick Rose. The New York Knicks are going to be a playoff team next year, I think. And Derrick Rose is going to be a big reason for that. And he's not going to be starting because they're going to start a lot of young guys like R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley. But Derrick Rose is going to be like that second best player on that team. Derrick Rose is going to be the spark plug off the bench, just kind of like a Lou Williams type model. And he's just going to play a lot better than other guys who either have voter fatigue like Jordan Clarkson or Patty Mills, who's just not going to have as big of a role in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Hey, wait, no. Why I say yeah to that? My guy is Patty Mills, and Patty Mills is going to have a good role in Brooklyn. They don't have anyone great off the bench, and he's going to lead that second unit, probably along with, like, I don't know. But exactly. I think he's leading that second unit. If you saw him in Team Australia, FIBA Patty Mills is a different beast. And I know this isn't FIBA, but I think he's going to come off a hot Olympics, and he's going to be that spark plug off the bench.
So 2 other guys that have like really good odds to be Sixth Man of the Year are Jordan Clarkson, who has the best odds by a long shot, just because he won it last year and he's still on a really good Jazz team. And then also Kevin Huerter, the backup for the Atlanta Hawks. It looks like he's going to be behind Trae Young and Bogdan Bogdanovic, whichever one that one is, and DeAndre Hunter. So he'll kind of lead that second unit.
Yeah, I don't see them winning it because I think the only reason Jordan Clarkson won it was because Jazz was first seed, and I don't think they're one. I don't think they're one seed again. And you say Kevin Huerter?
Yeah, Kevin Huerter was second on the list. Yeah.
He just had. I think he just had a hot playoff. I don't think he's gonna show up in the regular season again. Speaking of voter fatigue, my choice. Wait, who'd you put? Oh, you put. Okay. My choice is Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't know why I put him. I just had a feeling like he kind of had. So he won MVP. He won MVP one year. Then he won MVP Defensive Player of the Year, and then he basically was out of the conversation for both of those awards the next year, which was last year. And I think this year he's just people are gonna be saying like the Bucks just got lucky, injuries, blah 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 blah. Giannis isn't the best player in the league, and Giannis I think is gonna be working hard to try to show that he's the best player in the league, or at least will be eventually. And I think that will show, and people will start looking at his stats again and just realizing how great they really are, and he'll win Defensive Player of the Year again.
I think so. I have Bam as my Defensive Player of the Year. The reason why I think if he wasn't injured, he'd be one of those finalists last year, and I think he's very motivated to be Defensive Player of the Year. Also, the system's going to fit him a lot better. They don't really have any other rim protectors. They got rid of Kelly Olynyk. So Bam's going to be kind of on his own. He has to step up if the Heat are going to be a major team this year.
Did you say Bam last year?
Yeah, I did. But then he got injured.
Yeah. Who are the best odds for that?
So the 3 best odds are the finalists from last year. So Rudy Gobert, Ben Simmons, and Miles Turner.
Miles Turner wasn't a finalist last year.
Was it?
It was Draymond
Green. Turner.
It was Draymond.
Okay.
But Miles Turner was there for most of the season in the top 3, so
okay.
basically a finalist.
Yeah. Because he got injured too.
Yeah, he did. I mean, Rudy Gobert. Like, I thought last year it was impossible for him to win Defensive Player of the Year because via voter fatigue. I thought, no way.
Right.
I mean, I would say voter fatigue, but it did fail last year. So, I mean, maybe he'll be four-time defensive player. Miles Turner.
I just feel like it's a cop-out answer to pick Rudy Gobert, and I want to pick somebody else, just hoping Rudy Gobert doesn't win it.
It's like picking a Lakers-Nets finals.
Oh yeah, I know.
Which, I mean, it's boring, but like it's very statistically smart. Ben Simmons, I don't know what the crap's going on with him. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not gonna put any money on him because I don't know what he's gonna be doing this season. I don't know if he's gonna be playing. So, Miles Turner, I don't know either.
I just feel like his year might be a fluke. Like he had 3.5 blocks per game last year, which is insane. So I don't think he's gonna keep that up. I think he'll work more offensively than defensively this year. Like his defense will still be top, but he'll work more offensively than defensively this year.
For sure. Matisse Thybulle is up there too. Matisse Thybulle, I think will have a Defensive Player of the Year by the end of his career. Fingers crossed. I hope he will, especially if he gets that starting role soon. Not this season probably, but eventually.
Right.
Your eyes out. I want to see this clip in like 4 years.
Yes.
And hopefully it aged well. Next award is most improved, I think.
Right.
My most improved. Actually, no, David. You tell me your most improved first.
So my most improved player is Darius Garland. He jumped up a lot from his rookie year to his sophomore year, and I think we're going to see the same jump coming from his sophomore year to his whatever, the third year of his career. He'll have a bigger
Junior.
role, especially if Cleveland gets rid of Sexton. He's been in a lot of trade talks, so I wouldn't be surprised if Sexton moves on from Cleveland and Garland kind of runs the show as the sole point guard on that team. And he's gonna have a lot of people to pass to in the front court, like Evan Mobley and Kevin Love and Larry Markkinen and they got rid of Larry Nance. They have somebody else now. Larry Markkinen, that's who they got. So they'll have a lot of people in the front court that he can pass to, and they're gonna be a bad team, so he can get more usage on that team too.
Yeah, for sure. Just why'd you pick Garland over Sexton? Just because you think Sexton's getting traded away in your mind?
Yeah.
And then okay, that makes sense. My pick, a little random. It's we were looking at odds before this, and OG, and my guy isn't really on any of this, and my guy is OG Anunoby, who's IU grad. Well, I don't know if he's a grad, but he went to IU. And yeah, I think so. I'm not being biased because he's an IU guy. I like him because he's an IU guy. But I think on the Raptors, he's in that perfect role to step up and be their 20-plus point scorer, then also be their defensive anchor, kind of like a Victor Oladipo type player, without a trade having to happen, a Victor Oladipo type player without having the trade happen. That makes sense.
My only concern is that I don't think he has the athleticism to be that type of a scorer. He's mostly a defensive player, so that's one reason I didn't have him on my list at all.
He's like Matisse Thybulle with worse defense and a little better offense.
That's fair.
Who knows? Who are the best odds for most improved are, and I don't know what's up with the odds for this, but it's Michael Porter Jr., who I can see Michael Porter Jr. winning it. Shea and Zion. I don't see Shea and Zion because I feel once you pass 20 points, 22 points per game in your career, it's hard for you to win most improved.
Right.
Unless you go from 20 to 30, because that's a big jump. After that, it's you're already in the all-star caliber, and that's the most improved is usually a jump to all-star caliber.
Yeah, you kind of have to jump from an all-star to a star if you're already an all-star. You have to jump from almost to a superstar level. And maybe Zion can do that this year, but it doesn't seem like it, and it's gonna be kind of hard to bet that happens.
Maybe if I account team success, because I don't know if that's pure, but I feel most improved has always been kind of a statistic award, and not really so much about the team. Right. So the only way I could see Zion really being considered is if they do take in team success, and he helps the Pelicans win games this season. But I don't think that's usually what happens with that award. So I don't know. But Vegas is betting on it, so if they're betting on it, then maybe we're missing something. But, second to last award is Rookie of the Year.
Right. And my pick is the number one pick, Cade Cunningham. I just think he's the best player of this draft. He's going to have a lot of usage. Maybe he has some rough patches at the start of the year, but he should be able to pick that up, be the best player from this draft class. I really have a lot of faith in Cade. I think he'll be a superstar one day, and I think this is just the first step to that. I
picked numero dos in the draft. Wait, no, Trace. Wait.
No. You're right.
Dos. Yeah, Evan Mobley was third. But my guy is Jalen Green, the Houston Rockets. I messed that number up. But I think Jalen Green just really, I don't know. It's just the mindset. He has that killer instinct. I'm going to be the best in this draft class. Mindset. He has the Mamba mentality is what I'm trying to say. And I think he just has an amazing core around him too, just a good young core that will help him be that player. And I think he's gonna be the best of this draft class. And if not, yes, if Cade wins, but if Cade wins, he will be the second best. But I think he will be the first.
This reminds me a lot of like LaMelo and Anthony Edwards. Like Jalen Green reminds me a lot of like a more athletic Anthony Edwards, and Cade just reminds me of like a taller and like bigger LaMelo Ball. So I feel like both of those players are better than their like the people I compared them to, but like that's gonna be like a very similar battle.
You think Jalen Green and Cade Cunningham are better than LaMelo and?
I think they will be, yeah. Overall.
Well, that's a hot take. But I mean, I'm not saying I disagree with you, but that's actually a really good. That's a later video. If you want to hear us talk about that, later video. Yeah, and then I think those two have the best odds. I mean, they're the obvious best players from that draft. At least I think.
Yeah.
And then coming up third for that award is Jalen Suggs.
He's just gonna have a lot of usage in Orlando. He's gonna have a lot of touches. He's gonna be able to do a lot in Orlando. Maybe one of those two guys gets injured, one of them doesn't play well, and Suggs is just that third guy. So he's just like that fallback option, honestly.
Kind of like Halliburton was last year. So this draft class is actually really similar to to last year's rookie. Okay, yeah. Wow, yeah. I didn't really realize all those similarities until now. Now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's our MVP prediction. I'll let you go first.
I think we should just start with the best odds, so we can actually have a prediction.
Best odds, yeah.
So third in the odds is Kevin Durant with plus 700. He is just the best player on maybe the best team in the league. I put him as the best player in the league as of the last playoffs. So it makes sense to have him there. And then Joel Embiid second, same odds. They had him slightly higher though on the list, so I'm counting him higher. But he was second in MVP voting last year, so there's a really good chance he could have that MVP award this year. And then the number one odds that they have are Luca Doncic, and that's my prediction. He just looks like he's going to have that huge jump again this year to be the best player in the league this regular season. And I think Luca has that talent and the players around him to be MVP this year.
And that's So yeah, did you officially?
Oh yeah.
Say who you got?
My pick's Luca.
Yeah. I mean, obviously your pick's Luca because you're like in love with Luca. You think he's like, I don't even know.
He's a top 5 player in the league. That's not that controversial, I don't think.
He's a top 6. He's a top 6 player in the league. Top 5 if you don't count Kawhi because he's not playing this season.
No, I do count Kawhi. He's better than Kawhi.
No, counting Kawhi, he's top 6.
No, he's better than Kawhi.
I think, my MVP prediction is the man himself, Matisse Thybulle. I think, no. I picked his teammate, Joel Embiid. 2 years in a row, I've picked Joel Embiid. Might be risky because he is very injury prone. And I really didn't think that much of why Joel Embiid is injury prone. And I just watched JJ Redick's podcast with Matisse Thybulle. Yeah. I watched the whole thing. It was an amazing podcast. I recommend you guys watch it. I'm going to though. If you haven't already. But he talked about how Joel Embiid kind of plays with the style of the modern center, but then also the old Shaq type center. Right. And he really gives up his body. And that's why he's getting injured because he's really sacrificing his body for the game, which is good, but it also kind of is that when you put him as your MVP guess. That's our MVP. So is that the same as last year's too? You said Luca last year. I had Luca last year. So you said Luca last year, and I said Embiid. So let's see. And Jokic was both wrong last year. So let's see. Oh, I didn't even think about LeBron. Shoot.
I thought about him. I just think LeBron, no matter how much he tries the regular season, I think he's gonna save a lot of his energy for the postseason and win a championship.
I think LeBron either has like an MVP year or a
resting year.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our predictions for all 7 awards. 6. Yeah. Let us know down below what you thought of our predictions. Whether you're like that's crazy, or oh hey, that's my guy too. Like I got him this year for that award. And yeah, thank you for anyone who's watched it through the whole video. And very important, also leave down in the comments or on our Discord if you want to join that, what punishment we should do at the end of the season for the loser of these award predictions. We didn't do it for last year just because by the time we could record the video, it got complicated and it would have been way later. Just forget about it. But we're gonna do it this season. Also, one-on-one punishment.
that might be a thing sometime.
It'll happen. It's very hard to record because we also need friends to help us. So if you know us in real life, just hit us up and be like, hey, I'll help you record. But yeah, with that, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, join our Discord, and yeah, make sure to comment punishments or what you thought. And we will see you next Saturday. Peace.
Yes, peace.